Good day, everyone. Today we are going to make my favorite quick lunch and quick supper and quick meal, period. So we're gonna make chicken quesadillas. So today we are going to feature our fajita seasoning, also our poco picante. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by cutting up some chicken into small pieces. Now, sometimes I use pork and sometimes I use beef, depending on what is on sale or what's available in the fridge. Typically, you don't need a full serving of meat because usually I put more vegetables than what I need. So what I'm doing is I'm prepping for a couple of days at work. So I'm going to make a couple of quesadillas this time so that I have a few and I have less prep for the rest of the week. So quesadillas are very good to keep in the fridge, and usually I'll prep a bunch on Sunday night and it'll last me for the rest of the week. So I'm cutting up 2 chicken breasts right now. I really love this cutting board because it doesn't move on me. It has little feet on my quartz countertop, so it doesn't move. And the thing is, the smaller you cut the chicken, the faster it cooks. So the only thing that I'm going to cook in advance of preparing the quesadillas is the chicken. So I'm going to put that in there because we'll wash that. All right, we'll get All right, so we're gonna get this frying pan going. Get these out of the way. We're gonna put a little bit of oil just so the chicken doesn't stick, but it doesn't need a lot. And then add the chicken. Now typically I'll cut the chicken last. I've already cut all the vegetables just because chicken, everything should be washed thoroughly after you cook chicken. So we'll get rid of that entirely. So now, while the chicken is cooking, I take my baking sheet and my baking sheet liner. And I'm going to start and get that ready so that everything goes a heck of a lot faster. So you can use whatever type of tortilla shells you would like. So what I do is I put them in the oven so that I can do 3 at a time. Again, it's all about quickness. So I figure I can get 3 on a cookie sheet at once. Now once the chicken is a little bit cooked, then I'm going to add my fajita spice. So here's a trick. If you have an extra shaker top, what you can do is you can save it and put it on one of our jars. These jars typically don't come with a shaker top, but I like to be able to sprinkle the spice on the chicken. So I'll add some fajita spice. I will add some poco picante, just because I love the flavor of it. And also I'm going to add some sea salt. again, you can add whatever spices you want. You can do a souvlaki quesadilla. You can do a Philly cheesesteak quesadilla. You can mix and match whatever spices you want on whatever protein you want with whatever vegetables you want. That's the greatest thing about this meal. Typically, I'll use whatever leftover vegetables I have. All right, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit because it is sizzling. All right, while we wait for the rest of that to cook, we're going to continue to prep our quesadillas. So I have a little bit of green onion. Like I said, I'm going to prep a bunch of these, so I cut up probably 2 or 3 green onions. And I just sprinkle whatever I want on the quesadillas themselves. I have the oven presetting, where I thought I did, at 350. So I'm probably going to do a couple more of these quesadillas as well. Okay, so then I've got the green onion. I also have green pepper. Which I don't like as much, so I don't put as much. But again, you can put whatever you have in the fridge. I would typically stick to quick cooking vegetables like zucchini, mushrooms, peppers. I love red peppers in quesadillas, so typically I'll use them a lot. Again, by the time the chicken is cooked, it'll be ready to put in the quesadilla themselves. All right, so we've got the 3 prepared. The last thing we'll put in is the cheese because it binds everything together nicely. All right, our chicken is almost cooked. Again, the smaller the pieces, the better it is. We'll turn that back up again because we are ready for the chicken now. So I should probably get the cheese. I need another bag of this. All right, so the chicken is almost ready. Again, you could do frozen chicken as well. It doesn't take very long to cook in the frying pan. And I love this meal because it just takes no time to prep and no time to cook. So again, you put a little bit of chicken in there. Just enough so that you know that the cheese will melt through the contents. So again, this was 2 chicken breasts, 2 medium-sized chicken breasts, I would say. What I like about the chicken quesadillas too is they fit really nicely in those long cylinder containers as well that have the 2 compartments. So I put my salsa in one compartment and the quesadillas in the other compartment. Okay, so we have a little bit left over for another quesadilla. So we're gonna put that in a bowl for now because I'm gonna show you another way to cook this as well. Alright, so we got all the chicken and all the juice out of there. And we'll have that ready to go again. Alright, and then last but not least is the cheese. Now I use a mozza cheddar blend, but you can use whatever kind of cheese you want. Again, it depends on the type of quesadilla you're doing because the toppings are pretty much up to you. Sometimes I'll put tomatoes in here as well. Mushrooms are also really good. I might just get enough. Nope, I'm gonna have to get another bag. So I like this meal because I feel like I clean out the fridge with this meal. If I have a few leftover peppers, a few bags of cheese that are open, I'll just throw whatever in. All right, so now we are ready to pop these into the oven. And then halfway through, I check the bottom. I'll flip with our flipper. What I'll do is I'll reach under here and flip it up and check to see if it's brown, and then I'll flip them over. Or I'll take a plate and I'll show you how I do that on the stove. All right, so if I wanted to do this on the stove, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you a little closer to show you how easy it is to make them on the stove itself. So I'm going to put the full quesadilla in the element. Oh, this one's bent. Of course it is. There we go. So I'll sprinkle the chicken. So Jake will be excited. There's a little bit leftover chicken. Some peppers. Hoping you can see. Yeah, you can see. You can't see my face though, unfortunately, but again, I love red peppers, so I tend to put a lot of them in there. Did you know that there's actually 2 types of peppers? There's a male pepper and a female pepper, and you tell the difference with the bumps on the bottom. I just found that out recently. I thought it was hilarious. And one's sweeter than the other, but I can't remember which one's which. I can't remember if it's the male or the female that's sweeter. I'm sure men will say that it's the men that are sweeter. So again, you have to be careful. Sometimes I put too many toppings in there. You want to make sure everything's evenly distributed because then the cheese will go in between all of the pieces. I feel like I put way too many toppings in here. But we'll see. We'll see what mess I can make. But again, these are super fast, super easy. Oftentimes I'll pick up a single chicken breast at the grocery store and then throw in whatever vegetables I have in the fridge. All right, so we're ready. So we'll put the other side on and we'll get this going. So the trick is you want to put a plate on it to make sure the cheese melts and holds it down. So this doesn't take any time at all. But again, it's easy when you're just doing one to do it this way, but if you're doing multiple, you want to do it the other way in the oven. So you want to make sure that it jiggles just a little bit and you get the cheese melted so it's easy to flip. So Jake is patiently waiting at my feet, my dog, because he smells the chicken, he smells the cheese, and he loves peppers as well. So if he barks, I apologize. And you don't want to make it too hot because you don't want to burn it. So then you put the plate over it like this and simply flip. And then it comes out and then you just slide it back on. Sometimes if it's too full, the toppings will come out the side, which is not a huge deal. You just scoop them up. Oh, there's my oven that's ready to go, but I put them in already. So while we're waiting for that to cook, I'm going to actually spin you around to look at what we're doing in the oven. So in the oven, see how they've crisped up nice? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flipper and I'm going to flip them so that they crisp up on the other side. All right, but we're going to turn this off because I have a feeling I'm going to burn it if I don't. I'm just going to keep this on low. I'm just going to keep this on low while I flip these guys. I'm going to flip you around to check out the kitchen. Now just be really careful when you're flipping them over because they're super, super hot. But again, this is an easy way to prep for multiple people. Now, I always see the bottom's not quite cooked. So we're going to actually leave it in there. Now you could also put another baking sheet on top with some parchment paper just to make sure they don't flop up. We'll go back to here. Perfect. So this one's all done. So as you can see, super, super easy to make. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make some salsa. Because I don't know about you, but it's been a great tomato year. So we're going to wash the prep. Nice. And we'll cut up this tomato. Now, you can't see what I'm cutting up, and I think you just looked at my hair right now. Alrighty, there we go. So it has been definitely the year of the tomato. And I love, love, love tomato. I think I love everything red by the sounds of it. So what I'm gonna do is chop and dice the tomato and all its juices. Now what's really nice is these prep bowls are exactly a cup. And typically the recipes on the backs of these jars are either 1 cup or 2 cup. So I'm gonna see if I can put all the juices without it flowing everywhere. No, that did not work very well. Good try, Julia. All right, and then for poco picante, because I just have 1 cup of tomatoes, it says 2 tablespoons of the mix. It also says to add cilantro and lime juice, but I'm not really sure if I want to do that today. I think I just want the spice and the glorious taste of the tomato. I don't have quite a full cup of tomatoes in here, so I probably put a little too much spice, but that's okay. And then we add a little bit of salt. Perfect. And voila, we've got our salsa. Now we're gonna check on these again in the oven. I'm not gonna turn you around until I know I'm actually gonna flip them. All right, they are ready to flip. So here we go. I'm gonna turn you around and get you situated here. There we go. I will take my flipper and just flip these over. And then throw them in for another 10 minutes-ish until they crisp up. And while those are cooking, this is what I'm going to have for supper. My salsa and my quesadilla. So this is a full meal plus leftovers in 25 minutes or less. Thanks for watching. Bon appétit!